Hi everyone, I'm Linda. Today I'm gonna read Little House in a Big Wood from page 18 to page 21. Ma stripped and cleaned the head carefully, and then she boiled it till all the meat fell off the bones. She chopped the meat fine with her chopping knife in a wooden bowl. She seasoned it with pepper and salt and spices. Then she mixed the pot liquor with it, and set it away in a pan to cool. When it was cool, it was cut in slices, and that was the hedges. The little pieces of meat, lean and fat, that had been cut off the large pieces, Ma chopped and chopped until it was all chopped fine. She seasoned it with salt and pepper and with dried sage leaves from the garden. Then, with her hands, she tossed and turned it until it was well mixed, and she molded it into balls. She put the balls in a pan out in the shed, where they would freeze to be good to eat all winter. That was the sausage. When buttering time was over, there were sausages, and the hedges, the big jars of lard, and a cake of white salt pork out in the shed, and in the attic hung the smoked hams and shoulders. The little house was fairly bursting with good food stored away for the winter long. The pantry and the shed and the cellar were full, and so was the attic. Laura and Mary must play in the house now, for it was cold outdoors, and the brown leaves were all falling from the trees. The fire in the cook stove never went out. At night, Pa banked it with ashes to keep the coals alive till morning. The attic was a lovely place to play. The large round-colored pumpkins made beautiful chairs and tables. The red peppers and onions dangled overhead. The hams and the venison hung in the paper wrappings, and all the bunches of dried herbs, the spicy herbs for cooking, and the bitter herbs for medicine, gave the place a dusty, spicy smell. Often the wind howled outside with a cold and lonesome sound, but in the attic, Laura and Mary played house with the squashes and the pumpkins, and everything was snug and cozy. Mary was bigger than Laura, and she had a rag doll named Neddy. Laura had only a corncob wrapped in a handkerchief, but it was a good doll. It was named Susan. It wasn't Susan's fault that she was only a corncob. Sometimes Mary let Laura hold Neddy, but she did it only when Susan couldn't see. The best times of all were at night. After supper, Bob brought his traps in from the shed to grease them by the fire, and rubbed them bright and greased the hinges of the jaws and springs of the pans with the feather dipped in bear's grease. There were small traps and middle-sized traps and great bear traps with teeth in the jaws that Pa said would break a man's leg if they shot onto it. While he greased the traps, Pa told Laura and Mary little jokes and stories, and afterward he would play his fiddle. The door and windows were tightly shut, and the cracks of the window frames stuffed with cloth. to keep at the cold. But Black Susan, the cat, came and went as she pleased, day and night, through the swinging door of the cat hole in the bottom of the front door. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.